Welcome back. Welcome back. We in the building.
You was off beat.
It's all good. I mean, listen, sometimes you got two left feet, even when the camera's going. Okay. I'm glad they ain't playing the line songs now because I'll be going in the wrong direction.
That trail
Kind of
ride?
like that pick that I did.
Yeah, buddy. You couldn't be more wrong. Oh my goodness.
Man,
I
first
know
of
you was happy when OKC made it.
they supposed to win that thing.
Didn't look like it.
They look terrible.
Well, it was a good game.
No. Yes, it
a
was.
Good game until the fourth quarter. Like when Milwaukee stretched on them, that's when it got out of hand. But it was a good game up until like the last like 6 minutes of the fourth quarter.
So I'm gonna ask this question, right? First of all, congratulations on picking the right team.
Picking the winners?
Picking the winners, baby.
This year,
the winner goes
NBA
to
Cup champion
Milwaukee Bucks, man.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, man. They turned it around, got them boys playing better, right? So it should be a confidence booster for them for sure.
Yeah.
But let me ask this question regarding the way Giannis bullied all of OKC in this championship game.
Using the B word?
I'm just going to throw that thing out there. All right.
You say bully.
Our great supporter, Mr. Robert Foster. What's up, Rob? How you doing, bro? He said, yo, if today's NBA, they can't do nothing with Giannis. Right? What would they do with David Robinson? What would they do with a guy like Karl Malone? So with the spacing and everything is, man to man and no rim protection.
Well, the teams will be built differently.
They would have to be, right?
Yeah. Just like, Giannis is on the backside of his career. So you don't have to worry about
He's at what you would call it, end of his prime?
Yeah, I think so.
Call it end of his prime?
So. Yeah,
Same thing. Is Dame past his prime?
I think so. But I don't think so. The problem with Giannis is the way he plays. I don't think it's sustainable for him. His injuries and stuff are going to catch up to him.
Okay.
So that's why I think he's on the backside of his career. But he's the most. So Joker is the best player in the game.
Okay.
Giannis is the most dominant player.
He's the most physically imposing player that they got in the NBA right now.
Nobody else can do what Giannis does.
Right.
Right. And so, going back to your question, it's easy for us to look at the 90s and the 80s and go, the game was more physical.
Yeah, this player, right.
To keep you from but Giannis, he's built like David Robinson, but he's a little different in that he can actually start at the 3-point line. Mm-hmm. He'll take one dribble, 2 steps, and he's dunking on you.
Yeah.
Giannis has that in his bag.
Yeah.
David Robinson, just a crazy athlete.
Yeah.
Who, if you give him the ball in the right spot, it's one move dunk. But he's not going to put the ball on the floor against a guard or against these forwards that are super long and playing great defense. Giannis will.
One of the things that, yes, I think from the type of game, the way that described, but one thing that David Robinson does do better than Giannis is he shoots better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he may not be able to handle it, but having that triple threat phone booth ability and being able quick off that first step, one dribble, he get to the rim and bank it. But if you afraid of him getting to the basket,
you're going to pull up.
Yeah, that 15, 17, you're going to have to.
Well, sorry, you're not going to make him pull up.
You want him to pull up.
No, you're going to take that away. You want him to put the ball down. That's the thing you don't want with Giannis.
Yeah.
Because he put the ball down, but he used his physical.
Yeah. He just imposed his strength. Yeah.
He used his reach.
Yeah.
He put the ball down. You're not going to beat him to it most of the time.
Right.
He picks it up with like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And he's dunking on you while you're still thinking you can reach the ball.
Right.
Instead, you're in the post.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like the comparison. But here's who I think David Robinson. Here's the current player I think compares more to David Robinson. DeAndre Ayton.
Okay.
He's a great shooter from the perimeter. He's just not the athlete the
athlete that David Robinson
was. So as far as like running the floor, catching alley-oops, or getting the ball a step from the basket and just putting it on your head, he doesn't necessarily have that. He doesn't show it.
Right.
Right. But the jump shot is there.
Yeah.
The post moves are there. Like he has that game.
Right,
he has a similar offensive game. But putting Giannis back in the day, I think Giannis still looks pretty much like he does right now.
Yeah.
The difference is like when we say this, we make it's good stuff for us to talk about.
Yeah.
But we rule out a lot of the influences that caused Giannis to develop his game the way he did.
That's true too.
Or that caused like Kevin Durant to develop his game the way he did.
Yeah.
These guys came up playing a different game. Like they didn't play 80s and 90s basketball.
Right.
They never had to.
Right.
And so they didn't develop a game for that. I think these especially the elite athletes that's in the NBA right now would have adapted their games to the style of play that they were aiming for before they got to the NBA.
Right.
So, yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, one of the things that's been going on and has been really been talked about lately with the NBA ratings declining in a lot of ways is the style of play, right? And for me, I've, recently within the last 2 to 3 years gotten back into watching NBA basketball, right? And I did something the other day and I'm like, yo, this is boring to me, where 12 times down the court for both teams, back and forth, not one drive to the basket layup, not one dunk, not one set. It's literally, let me get to my bag and let me shoot a three, with guys that can't shoot threes at a high percentage.
Which game were you watching?
It was the Rockets.
Oh, there you go.
And
they got one.
OKC. It was the Rockets or OKC.
Who's the 3-point shooter from the Rockets?
I don't know.
Fred VanVleet. Name another one.
That's all you got. But everybody was jacking. They crossover, step back, shoot it. Fast break, kick it outside, shoot it. And it's come down, run high, pick and roll, step back, shoot it. Right? And for me, it's like, I get it. The way that it's talked about today is these guys are more talented, right? They're more skilled than the 90s and the 80s, and even if you want to say the early 2000s, right? But the game, it looks identical. Nothing looks different.
I mean, the games, if you look at games today.
You look at games today,
You watch two teams play today.
They look exactly the same.
Right after that, it looks the same.
Looks exactly the same to me. And that's for most of the teams. I ain't gonna say all of the teams because that wouldn't be honest. But most of the teams play that style of play now, where you're going to see, I would say, minimum 30 to 35 3-point shots. Between the both teams. You get what I'm saying? That's the norm now.
That's because we now understand that a 40% 3-point shooter is going to put up more points than a 50% 2-point shooter.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and so everybody's trying to be that 40+% 3-point shooter,
right?
And sometimes you got guys that have it. Like I believe last season, Jalen Brunson for the first half of the season was shooting close. He was shooting like 55% from three. It was something ridiculous. It was really high. It might have been like
whatever,
late 40s, but
high 40s, early 50s. Regardless, it's high.
But he was shooting that thing.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Yeah. But the law of averages catch up to you.
It come down eventually.
You shoot enough.
Yeah.
You start missing some. You go. You hot 1 minute. You cold for a little bit. Whatever. It comes down to a norm. Right. I think his norm is probably about 42%.
Yeah.
Recently. Right. Steph Curry, greatest shooter in the game, greatest shooter to ever play the game, in my opinion.
Right.
For a long time, with the volume of shots that he puts up, has been like a 42 to 44, 45% shooter.
Right.
It's come down over the years because again,
age,
law averages. He's going to keep shooting. He's not going to be as proficient as he was in his prime.
Right.
He's past his prime.
Right.
So his percentages are going to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
But even now, like with his percentages coming down a little bit, his numbers are still superhuman when it comes to like his effectiveness as a shooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I get what you're saying. So I want to address that. Like, why does the game? Why do these players do this? There's a little sort of observation I have about psychology.
Okay.
Right. So you work on things and you develop healthy habits.
Okay.
Right. We as far as basketball goes, you work on your skills, you develop really good habits.
Right.
There's certain tendencies that players have because that's what they work on the most. That's what they're most comfortable with doing.
Right.
They might have a deep bag. There's a ton of things a player can do.
Yeah.
There's 5 to 10 things that a player will do normally.
Right.
Right? You put that player in a stressful situation, they're going to go to those 5 or 10 things.
Their strengths.
Their strengths.
Correct.
The things that they are most comfortable with doing. So
right.
if those things are bad habits, it's really going to show up.
Right.
Those are the players that can't finish games or, have a problem in the clutch or have a problem when there's a good defensive team on the floor.
Right.
Other players, especially when we talk about NBA players, they're going to have things that they can go to that's almost a for sure bucket.
Okay.
They know they're going to get a good look. They know, they know they're going to get a shot off or whatever.
Right.
What you see when you see these guys come down the court, cross, pull up for a three, or move the ball around, pull up for a three, and or go to their one spot that may not be a three. It might just be a shot from the elbow, whatever.
Right.
What you see is a combination of fatigue and stress.
Mm.
I'm tired, but my team need a bucket.
Yeah.
I got a move that'll get me a good shot. So that's what I'm going to go to.
Right.
That's what you see.
Okay.
Right. And so these teams, again, have been practicing 3-point shooting for so long.
Yeah.
That is now the standard sort of go-to when your team is, when you're tired.
And you need a bucket.
You can get an open three.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's, some teams have a player where they can throw it inside and that player throws it right back outside and they get an open three.
So let me ask this question. I don't disagree with, you've been practicing this for a long time. This is what the way the game has kind of pushed towards. This is a shot that you can pretty much get at any given moment. I don't disagree with that. Do you think that this current generation is harming the game for the next generation to come because it's a copycat lead? It's everybody's copying it, right? So it's like.
Do you remember when?
No, you're good. So it's like it's become. I ain't gonna call it boring because when they're going in, you be like, "Good Lord!" Like everybody's El Fuego right now. You get what I'm saying?
You get to see some shooters.
Right. But it's so bad in some cases that I could predict the way the game is going to be played if I watch the first quarter. You get what I'm saying? And it's like the fans are starting to draw less interest in the game because ratings are down. So is this something that can be fixed because of the generations to come? Or is this something that you think will kind of, it'll calm itself down and you think the ratings will go back up when the playoffs come towards the playoff time in April and May?
This is normal. So for ratings are down, but ratings are down less in sports than they are in TV overall.
Okay.
Like people don't want to watch TV. They just want to turn on Netflix when they feel like it.
Yeah, watch their show.
Prime when they feel like it.
Binge watch my show.
And I'm gonna get out of here, right? You don't do that with sports though.
Right.
So that's the difference. So yeah, ratings may be down, but that's because people aren't watching television.
Okay.
There are a couple of things that people will watch live, right? I think that Netflix had a couple of things that people were watching like crazy. Those dating shows and stuff like that. They watch those like at a specific time.
Yeah.
In sports, nobody wants to TiVo sport. I'm using old words here, but nobody wants to record a game and then come back and watch it later.
Hey, y'all, he ain't got them gray hairs by accident.
But people want to see that live.
Yeah.
People want to see that live. So ratings may be down, but ratings are up higher
compared to just regular television watching. Yeah.
You can keep in mind, like you got the NBA, you got the NFL signing new deals, new media deals that have allowed these players, these teams to get paid a lot more money than they used to get paid.
Right.
So there's good reason behind that because sports is a sure thing for bringing ratings to your
network.
TV channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but other things aren't. You can have a great show on television.
Yeah, and it won't make it.
We're gonna wait.
Yeah.
Until all the episodes are there, or if it's Game of Thrones or something like that, then we'll tune in.
Right.
But
as
far as the ratings, I don't think the ratings are a direct condemnation of the way the game is played.
Okay.
The game is going to continue to evolve because the game evolves with the rules that are put in place, with the things people are trying, new NBA All-Star game format.
Trash. garbage.
The game is going to keep evolving.
Liquefied manure.
And the people that are younger than us
right.
are going to find ways to appreciate parts of the game that's evolving that we may not appreciate because we're still stuck on. Like, I remember when it used to be 12 guys in the dunk contest, and we were up all night watching dunks.
Right.
Yeah, but we got tired of watching those same old dunks.
That's true.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
Going back to the three-pointer, your comment about the three-pointer.
Yeah.
When Dr. J played the game, there was maybe one other player in the league that was like him.
Right.
It wasn't anybody else that was like him.
Correct.
Jordan came along years later, took Dr. J's style of play, made it his own. He was the only one doing it for a couple of years.
He was one of one, right.
For a couple of years.
Yeah.
Then you had Baby Jordan, Little Jordan, JJ, Jordan Jr. You had all of these guys kind of
JJ, Jordan.
and all of these guys coming into the league who model their game after
MJ,
or just the idea that they can do these things, fancy layups, creative dunks, things like that.
Right.
He was the sort of cast that caused all of these call them clones,
pioneer, but these trailblazers of it.
He was the pioneer, but these other guys were skilled players too. They just liked his style of play, so they tried to play like him. Right. So you see that now. Steph Curry is the trailblazer for today's game.
Right.
He's pretty much the first player who took advantage of the green light to shoot from three in a way that made you go, if I was as good of a 3-point shooter as Steph Curry,
I would do it too.
I would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So you got players that are trying to be him.
Right.
And that's what you see.
Okay.
But not everybody. So it's going to keep going until somebody figures out another way to be dominant. Mm-hmm. I think Shea is on his way to doing it.
Right.
Joel Embiid, if he could stay on the court, has a dominant style of play. Joker is a dominant player with his own style of play. His style is more like Russell Westbrook.
So we talked about this player, and I think in this topic that we're talking about as far as the style of the NBA, the way it looks, the way the game is being played, injuries robbed the NBA of being able to have a villain to this style.
To Steph Curry style?
Yes. Zion Williamson.
He's not a villain to that style.
No. I'm just using it as
he's a counter to that
style. There you go. That's a better word. He's a counter. He would have been a counter to that style. Paint dominant, athleticism,
right.
Human highlight film.
It's not injury that's robbing. I don't think. I think it's him. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, Zion has had some injuries.
Yeah,
he has definitely had some injuries. But I also don't think Zion was at the time when we wanted the most out of him was ready for that spotlight.
I get that.
And he's a little bitter because he's not with the Knicks.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna bring up the Knicks because
we should though.
Why?
We should talk about them all the time.
Never, never, ever. Man, they got to start winning. That's what we talk about it. When they winning, we talk about it because this
won
is
the last game.
Stay winning podcast.
They won the last game.
I mean, they won the last game, but I think that the NBA lost an opportunity to be able to market that kind of a player along with the Trae Youngs, the Steph Currys, the Dame Lillards, the shooters. So you know what I'm saying? They had
because I feel like you're taking shots at me, so I'm gonna go ahead and no. I'm gonna shoot back because when Zion was drafted, we were going back and forth on this. You was like, Zion shouldn't be the number one pick. It should be Ja Morant.
It should have been.
Why can't they market Ja Morant?
Because if you got a knucklehead the way he got a knucklehead, that's what you get. They had two unfortunate situations.
When I beef with 16-year-olds,
hey man,
I keep the hammer on.
Right, boy, you heard what? That's what I'm talking about.
But Ja is having a good season.
The truth of the matter, that's a true thing. That's a true statement that these two players had the personalities and the game to make the game exciting for years to come.
They both have distinct styles. Zion is super powerful and athletic in the paint. Ja is athletic in the paint and graceful in the paint.
Correct.
And also just like the ultimate. He's kind of a mix of like Allen Iverson and I don't know who else floats through the air the way he does. That dunk he had on the Celtics is an all-time great dunk.
I know he's not as big, but you're saying Jordan because Jordan floated through the air like that. So you got AI and Mike put together.
But he's not. He's 6'3", 6'4".
He might be 6'2".
Okay, but he's not the athlete that Jordan was.
No, he's not.
But he does float, man. It's like he out there dunking cotton balls.
Yeah.
But it's just that reverse dunk on the Celtics was so disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
Come on,
man. I mean, but like we saying, like, to me, those two individuals, those two players,
they should have been
right where we thought they could have been to market, right? Now the NBA has had to pivot. And in pivoting, you get players like SGA, Ant-Man, because you got the Joker, of course, Giannis.
I don't think the NBA cares as much about that.
Listen, the NBA has always, in my opinion only, has always rolled the back of the marquee superstar image.
During the David Stern era, yes, that was his strategy. But now,
and it worked.
But now it did for a little while. But now it doesn't work.
Why not? Why not?
Because if your superstar is a gambler that needs to step away from the game for 2 years, your ratings will suck.
Okay.
If your superstar get gun charges, you gotta pivot. If your superstar can't stay on the court, Joel Embiid, Zion Williamson, you gotta pivot. So what they do now is they market team ball. When you look at the teams that the NBA will put on TV the most, you're not thinking about just the one player showing out. You're thinking about a squad. OKC is not SGA. They are a squad.
No, I agree with that. But what I'm also stating is, I believe it's hurting the NBA that they don't have that guy. The last guy
will hurt the NBA to you.
The last guy that they had. The last guy they had, he's getting ready to retire.
You like heroes. A lot of people like heroes. Like the hero story. Like the story of
LeBron James. LeBron James is the last one.
No, LeBron is not. That's why a lot of people hate him. That's why a lot of Jordan fans don't like LeBron, because he was the first one to say, you know what? Instead of this being just about me, it's going to be about the team. He's a pass-first superstar.
Yeah, he's not a pass-first superstar, but I get what you're saying.
What do you mean he's not a pass-first superstar?
I don't consider him a pass-first superstar.
When he was winning those championships, he was a pass-first superstar.
I don't know. But
when he got to in the playoffs and got his behind handed to him by San Antonio.
That's the championship, the first championship?
And Pop made those comments. That's when he realized there are times in the game you have to be selfish.
Yeah.
But before that, he was passing the ball.
So let me ask, right?
Joker is a passer.
So when you're saying that, it's a great transition to this particular question right here. David Stern, as a commissioner, marketed this, right?
He was like, pick a player,
and we're gonna ride this. We're gonna ride this superstar wave.
And remember, so around that same time, David Stern had all these rules about what you can wear.
Yeah. It was a totally different image. Totally different.
He controlled the players.
Yeah.
Because he needed to control the narrative.
Right.
Jordan had flaws.
Yeah.
David Stern did not let those flaws stop the NBA from growing.
From Jordan to Shaq and Kobe to Iverson.
Iverson is the one who disrupted it.
Yes. Okay.
Iverson was the one that said, I won't be controlled.
To me, those four people that you named, MJ, Shaq, Kobe, Iverson. Right? Those are the last four that I can think of off the top of my head that had the superstar images, and the NBA was marketing these guys and was riding the wave of their stardom. Right? Because to me, right after
Paul Pierce was one of them too.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put Paul Pierce as big of a superstar as Iverson or Shaq and Kobe.
He didn't do it for as long. But Paul Pierce definitely had his moment.
I mean, what's the name would be in that?
It was all about him.
You know, Dirk would fall into that.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Melo will fall into that.
For sure.
So there will be, players that will fall into that, and then you got LeBron James coming in along with those guys, because he was in the NBA with those guys as well. Moving on, and then you get KD.
They wanted it to be about LeBron. When he came in the league, they wanted it to be like, let's talk about the kid from Cleveland.
Yeah, let's talk about the king.
Let's build up Cleveland.
The chosen one, because that was on the cover of the ESPN, Sports Illustrated.
And LeBron came in with another idea. He said, I'm about my legacy.
Yeah.
And it's not just going. I'm not going to be able to go out here and beat these teams single-handedly.
So let me ask, with what is happening right now, and the way Adam Silver commissions the NBA, do you think the NBA is going to be better years to come, or do you think they're going to have to pivot somewhere to get back on track to compete with
I think
the likes of the NFL, because that's their real competition is the NFL.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think why they don't even play at the same time.
They don't, but when you talk about the NFL ain't losing ratings. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but are they the most popular?
The second, the soccer is the most popular sport in the world.
But you're talking about in the U.S.
Yes, NFL. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by they compete with that.
That's not their competition.
Okay,
you're saying they're competing to be the number one sport?
Yes.
I don't see how. If I'm the NBA, I'm selling a completely different product.
Okay.
This isn't like Pepsi versus Coke, right? This is you basically want to put us on the table together,
right?
Like Thanksgiving comes up.
Oh, ham and turkey.
Yeah,
I got it.
You should be able to get both of them. But
right.
Football dominates Thanksgiving. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
But Christmas is the
NBA's. Yeah.
And I think they probably figured out we shouldn't run games at the same time. Mm-hmm. Let's give our players Thanksgiving off. You give your players Christmas off.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like they're not in. It's not a head-to-head competition. I think the NBA is more in competition with NCAA basketball. Mm. Like a lot of people love the competitiveness of NCAA basketball and believe that the NBA is full of spoiled brats because you got millionaires that's
college basketball getting ready to run into that same problem here in a little bit with this NIL.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of these guys that are not just guys, but a lot of these players that are making great NIL money, they don't all have the skills to then go to the NBA or go to the league.
Michael Jordan.
Football is probably going to see it too.
Absolutely. Michael Jordan once said this, I think he was on the Oprah Winfrey Show with Charles Barkley, how the way the endorsements were set up, before you got the major endorsement, you had to earn getting that endorsement. Now, before you earned anything on the court, before you accomplished anything on the court, they done gave you a $100 million, $50 million shoe deal or whatever.
That's not true, man.
I'm listen. It does have some merit though.
That don't make any business sense.
I'm not saying business wise. What I'm saying is these kids.
That's not true.
I mean, look, Zion Williamson signed the Jordan deal.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how much the deal was worth.
A lot.
He ain't earned that.
He did though.
From where? From who? From Duke?
Did you know who Zion Williamson was when he signed that deal?
Yeah, I knew it from YouTube.
There you go.
I did.
Boom.
So that's how he earned it? Yeah. Because of YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Say less. Say less.
But that's not when he signed the deal. He signed the deal after his year at Duke.
He did.
And do you remember how much the tickets were going for when Duke and Carolina played at Duke? Mm-mm. Like courtside seats was going for $20,000.
That's a shame.
Because Zion was there.
I agree. I'm not saying that he wasn't box office.
He earned it.
He earned it in college?
Yes.
So
some of these guys earned it in high school. If you really follow them, I'm talking about the NIL deal.
I get it.
If you really follow them, the reason why like Arch Manning demanded so much money from an NIL deal
because his last name is Manning,
and he's good.
Yes, he is.
Because if he was,
yes, he is.
If he was the father, they wouldn't have paid him like that.
Hey.
His grandfather.
My bad. So look, right. I want to pivot.
Yeah, because you losing this one. Man.
That's all right.
You want to talk about fights?
If you say another thing today, boy, I'm going to swole your cheek up right to the chin. I'm trying to tell you. That's what's happening this Saturday. That's it. Hey.
All your fronts.
I'm just saying. Missing. Get the dinner work.
All your fronts.
Trying to tell you. So, who do you got winning the rematch?
What a segue.
Tyson Fury.
Alexander
Usyk. I always mess his name up, so I need you sometimes. I mean, I appreciate you. Jack that joker name up. I got him beating him again.
Fury and Usyk?
I got Usyk winning again.
It's
by decision, of course. Ain't gonna knock him out.
So I don't know what gave Usyk the confidence in the first place, because he basically said from the outset that he was gonna go get the belt from Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
that's what he did. I don't know what gave him that confidence. I don't know if they fought amateurs. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Right.
But Fury has been the most dominant heavyweight
for a long time.
In the last few years.
Absolutely.
Usyk went and took it. I think he could do it again.
You know what I think it is? Usyk said, I can outbox him. See, in the heavyweight division, there are very rarely outstanding boxers. Because in the heavyweight division, it only takes one punch.
That's in every division, though.
Yeah, but I mean, when you get
you're right. I'm gonna back off. You're right.
The smaller divisions, you see a lot more talented, skill level boxers in the smaller division. Sure,
and some of them can take heavyweight punches.
Correct.
So I
right? But in the heavyweight division, you ain't got to be skilled. No disrespect. And I'm not saying he's not skilled.
You know what Jay Edwards would say, right?
What?
It only takes 3 pounds of pressure.
Hey, that's it. And put you to sleep. Hey, Tweety Bird, tweet. Okay.
I'm not putting that in the video.
Yeah, I am. You got to put it in there, okay? I'm going to put it in there, right? Look, I ain't saying he's not skilled, because it takes a skill to do what he's done to win the heavyweight champion. But Deontay Wilder would not jump off the pages as most skilled heavyweight boxer.
No.
Right? But it takes a skill to time you with that right hand and put you to sleep. Right? That's a skill.
40-something times.
Right.
Like
yes, sir. And I think he still has the highest knockout rating percentage in history of boxing. I think he still has that, right? But I think Usyk says, you know what? I can outbox Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury outboxes everybody else.
Didn't Usyk beat Daniel Dubois?
Yes.
That's a great boxer.
He is. But I think that's the difference is he like, you're not going to outbox me, Tyson Fury. Everybody else, you're going to outbox. Me, you're not going to outbox. Therefore, you can't beat me, because 99% of the time, the boxer beats the puncher. You know what I'm saying?
If they can avoid getting hit.
They can avoid getting hit. So I got Usyk winning another decision, man.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I think that's a good pick. What you got to look out for is Tyson Fury's antics, because I say antics, but I'm being cynical. I'm being cynical. But he is a smart competitor when it comes to the sport. You don't stay on top as long as he did by not being a smart competitor. He showed me something with the way he handled Deontay Wilder, all 3 fights with Deontay Wilder, that makes me think like Usyk don't know who he's going to be in the ring with.
Yes, because he is the Gypsy King for a reason. He change up on you in a heartbeat.
He showed up in the second Deontay Wilder fight as a puncher, not as a boxer.
Right. As
a puncher, and his goal was to out punch the puncher.
That's right.
And he did.
Yes. Yeah. So
then he did it again. So
let me ask, right? I'm not disrespecting Tyson Fury as if he can't win, because he can win the fight. I mean, he's 6'9". The man can box. He's a champion for a reason, right? And it's the same thing with just anybody else. He hit him the right way at the right time. And yeah, brother, you be thinking you a German, and hey. So I'm not saying Tyson can't win. I just think,
I don't even know what that meant.
Me neither. I think Usyk is gonna outbox him and win a decision. But I will say this: if Tyson Fury is locked in, which they're saying according to his camp, he is locked in, and he begins to impose that 6'9" frame on Usyk the way he did to Deontay Wilder, it can become a different kind of a fight.
Sure.
Right? Because you can't, there's nothing you can do if Shaquille O'Neal of boxing is just walking you down, so to speak. You get what I'm saying?
You can do him like Andrew Bynum did him.
Wait, what did Andrew Bynum do?
You know, he banged on Shaq.
What did he say? Pause.
Pushed him or something like that.
He banged on him. Pause.
Banged on him.
Hey. Be good now. Be good.
Hey.
So you got knockout or decision?
Decision. I don't think Usyk has the power to knock Tyson Fury out. Yeah. But I do think, he has the power to knock him out, but I don't think he's going for the knockout. He's not headhunting. He's looking to outbox him.
Yeah.
I think that's his best bet at beating Fury. And I think Usyk knows how to move to not get caught by these power shots that Tyson might throw. He might come in with Wilder. He came in like heavy, way heavier than he was boxing prior to that, just so he can put something behind his punches.
Right.
I don't know if he's going to take that chance with Usyk because Usyk is smaller and faster.
Light on his feet. Correct.
Usyk is like the Evander Holyfield of this era's.
That's a great comparison because Evander wasn't a natural heavyweight.
Yeah.
He moved up into the heavyweight division.
He just like punishing people, and he didn't mind the punishment that came back.
Evander was nuts. Like he
still is. He alive.
Little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
He just stand there and take shots for no reason. Back. Yeah, but I got Usyk winning by decision. I think it's going to be it's going to be a closer fight this time. I think this fight is going to be a majority decision win.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Yeah, I don't think he beats him unanimously this time, but I think it's a majority decision win. I think he, wins and then goes after these other guys that's coming up behind him.
I got Fury by knockout, and then he retires.
Okay, there you go.
Then he retires, but you're right. There's two guys in particular that I think the heavyweight world needs to be on the lookout for. Daniel Dubois.
Yes, sir.
And Bacoli, the guy who knocked out Big Baby.
Okay. That
guy is scary.
Man, he's a large human being.
Who can box.
And he
not just punch, he can box.
When he hit Big Baby was like, hold on, man, wait a second.
I ain't signed up for this.
This wasn't part of the deal, guys.
I would have asked for more money.
This guy hit me hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think, like, if given the chance, I think Big Baby will fight him again.
Yeah.
Because he's that type of competitor.
Yeah.
And he, look, he lost that fight and he didn't walk out of the ring with his head hanging.
No.
He was just kind of like, man, he got
me. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I hope Big Baby keeps doing it. I know he wants to. I know he plans to hit his goals and retire early.
Yeah.
I think Tyson Fury, if he beats Usyk, he walks away from boxing. And I think that's smart because he was in some wars with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
I don't know how he took.
He has nothing left to prove. He has nothing left to prove.
Nope.
Nothing at all. So yeah, if he gets a dub here, get out of there. He takes an L, get out of there. It's over. This is it.
But I think sometimes pride won't let you
no, absolutely.
Because if you lose to a guy that you lost to before, and you retire after that, it's kind of like you're giving up. Like, I guess I just can't beat that guy. Yeah. So he, pride might keep him in if he loses, but he's still a heck of a fighter. Yeah, he's a fighter, man.
Hey, man, his name is after Tyson. So that's what it is.
He bit off his name. He looked like. You ever watch Looney Tunes when people were hungry and you look at the other person, they turn into a chicken?
Yes,
or a turkey?
Yes, they did.
That's what Tyson Fury looks like.
Hey, that's not a good image to finish our show.
You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, you heard what he said.
Hey, man.
Go ahead. Fire away.
That's it.
That's all you got?
Yep.
Who you got winning the fight? Usyk or Fury? Saturday, the zone. So it's in the middle of the day.
Boo.
That's always trash.
Yeah.
That is trash.
Well, you get it out of the way, so spend the night at the club.
Hey, you heard what he said. Turn it up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Is the NBA trash today? My answer is a whopping maybe.
Nah, not at all.
Okay. He picked the Bucks.
And they got it done.
They got it done. That means they're going to beat the Knicks in the playoffs. I'm just saying, you just got to throw that out there. It just ain't, whatever. Who y'all got winning? We can do something. We'll do a little poll. A little stay winning poll on the fight. How about we do that?
No.
Okay, you heard what he said. We ain't doing it. You ain't got to worry about it. So we going to finish this thing with the big one. You know what I'm saying?